Blitz on 2, sponsored by Roper Hospital, Denton's Shipyard, Physicians Foot Care, and Steen Enterprises.
Welcome into another episode of Blitz on 2. Once again, we find ourselves blessed with another week of great high school football. But as always, we start our show with our game of the week. So let's head out to our very own Jasmine McCoy.
It's the Blitz on 2 Game of the Week.
Our Blitz on 2 Game of the Week is Berkeley High School taking on Stratford for a homecoming matchup this Friday night. Friday night football, and Berkeley wasted no time moving the ball down the field. Trey Miner finds Austin Gray for the quick touchdown just minutes in. The extra point would be no good. Stags 6, Knights 0. Stratford looking to answer back. Josh Davis is going to scramble and find Anderson, who's going to get the first down for the Stags. Knights looking to keep things moving. Jaden Alston is going to run it up the middle, and you think he's down until he leaps in the end zone. Literally leaps to get a touchdown for Stratford. The extra point would be good for the Knights. Then Berkeley, Trey Miner is going to find wide receiver Solomon Butler, who's going to get the first down for the Stags. He'll try and shake a couple defenders off. First and goal for Berkeley, and Luke Gaston is going to squeeze in a small gap and get the touchdown. Berkeley up 13-7. Berkeley is going to kick things off to the Knights. Stratford wasted no time moving the ball down the field. Number 2, too fast for you. I don't know how he stays in bounds, but he does. Two teams going head to head, touchdown for touchdown. Then Jaden Alston does it again, gives the Knights another score. But Berkeley said, hold up, wait a minute, we ain't done. Check it out, beautiful throw to Austin Gray. And yeah, I would be hype after a play like this. What a catch. He'll get up, try to get his team going, and he does. Trey Miner will then find Lonnie Harrison for the touchdown. Big game for both teams, but that will be your final. 34-27, Berkeley wins. Next week, Stratford plays against Goose Creek, and Berkeley will take on Cane Bay. Well, that's it for your Game of the Week coverage. I'll send it back to you, John.
Let's head out to Haygood Stadium as the Oceanside Landsharks look to stay undefeated against Battery Creek. In the beginning, Battery Creek was marching down the field as Jacob Anderson can't find anyone, so he uses his legs and picks up the first down. But that'd be about it on offense. Now the defense shines as the Dolphins swarm around Garrison Kepley, and he has nowhere to go as Alvin Black brings him down in the backfield. But the Landsharks would have their revenge as Lamar Priolu finds some space down the sideline and wave goodbye. He gets the Landsharks in the end zone, and they're the first ones on the board. But they didn't have to wait too much longer to put some more points on as Dana Brunson gets his hands on it, and it lands right into the hands of Carson Arnold. And the Landsharks walk in for the touchdown. Oceanside will host off against Academic Magnet next Friday, and Battery Creek will host North Charleston. West Ashley had a tough battle against Somerville last week and found their first loss of the year as they look now to play spoiler to the Patriots. Well, the Patriots wouldn't make it easy. So the handoff goes for a big gain. So no one's going to catch him until he's finally reaches the 6-yard line. And then the Patriots didn't take long to capitalize as Zoltan Osborne decides to take it himself and walks his way into the end zone. And the Patriots hold a 28-7 lead. But now West Ashley looks to strike as Zaquan Smith takes the quick pass and turns upfield, gets the Wildcats a first down. And he's not the only one trying to do so. Look at this one. Rashad Henry takes the pass and turns upfield as well, and he gets a first down. Fort Dorchester will host Somerville next Friday, and West Ashley will be on the road against Wando. The Cobras are coming off a tough loss to Goose Creek, hoping they can get things on track against Stahl. The Cobras are on the move as A.J. Miles takes the handoff, and he knows what to do as he makes his way through the defense, gets the Cobras on the board. Fast forward a little, and the Cobras are up by 2 touchdowns, but trouble strikes as the Cobras try the pitch, and the ball pops free, and Stahl is all over it. The Warriors recover the fumble, and they take over. The Warriors would later capitalize as Kamari Davis slings it into Stephon Smalls, and the Warriors get on the board. But Cane Bay looking to show their speed as Jalen Brodock, I'm hoping I'm saying that name right, takes the pitch. He tears down the field, and no one is going to catch him as he takes it all the way for another Cane Bay touchdown. Stahl will be on the road to face off against Ashley Ridge next Friday, and Cane Bay will be hosting Berkeley next Friday. A great set of highlights as promised, but when we come back, we'll have even more for you, so stick around. Blitz on 2. We'll be right back. Welcome back into Blitz on 2. When we last saw you, we ended things out in Summerville, but this time we're going to head out to Goose Creek as the Gators played host to Wando. Let's have our very own Antonio Stinson take over.
Tonight, the Goose Creek Gators try to get their record above 500 as they face the Wando Warriors. We start off in the second quarter where Drew Moore throws it over to the sideline to Kion Smith for a Gators first down. And on that same drive, the ball is handed off to Dimitri Simmons, who takes it up the middle, meets a Wando defender with a spin move, and then decides to do it again and keeps going until he's taken down, but puts the Gators in excellent field position. Dimitri would do everything he could to capitalize on this as he makes a quick move and then goes straight toward the defense, pushing them and himself into the end zone for a Goose Creek touchdown. This will bring the Gators one step closer to trying to get a victory. Next up for Goose Creek, they have a bye week, but the week after that, they'll get ready for their Goose Creek rivalry against the Stratford Knights. That'll be on October 30th with kickoff at 7:30. Reporting from Goose Creek, Antonio Stinson, News 2 Sports.
Let's head out to the new District 4 Stadium as Bishop England takes on North Charleston. Bishop England finds himself on the goal line, and Michael Long takes the pitch and walks his way into the end zone for the touchdown. But here comes North Charleston as Zane Priolu looks downfield and finds the hands of Jaleel Yeadon. And he makes his way into the red zone, but the Cougars can't capitalize, so the Bishops take over as Marco Pampu finds Charlie Rainey, and he takes off. He finds some room and picks up the first down and a lot more, but the Cougars defense steps up as Cortland Washington meets him in the backfield and brings him down for the loss. Bishop England will play host to Hanahan next Friday, and North Charleston will be on the road at Battery Creek. Timberland was on the road tonight as they headed out to Charleston to take on Philip Simmons. As Trip Williams gets things going with a quick pass out to Will Ramey, and he finds the first down. But the offense is looking for more as Williams finds Peyton Woolridge, and he tries the outside, but he's wrapped up by Chris Williams, and that doesn't go for very much. Let's keep things going. The Wolves trying their best to get the handoff here as Roman Watford wrapped up in the backfield and taken down for a loss. But this offense won't go down without a fight as Watford takes a snap and runs up the gut for a nice gain, but it's the Wolves defense that shines once again as Williams is in trouble and he tries to find some room, but instead he finds a group of Wolves and they bring him down. Philip Simmons will face off against Hanahan on the 30th, and Timberland will be facing off against Woodland next Friday. Cardinal Newman is looking for their first win of the season, but Porter Goud is, well, ready to tell them to keep looking. Cardinals are on 3rd and short, but a swarm of Cyclones meet them just short of the line. They bring them down for a 4th down. The defense stepped up, so now the offense needs to do the same as Matt Kelly looks outside and finds Kyle Lafayette, and he makes a man miss and finds the way for the first down before being pushed out of bounds. The offense is still rolling, but it's 3rd down as Kelly rolls out and finds some room as he gets it out to his receiver for the quick pickup and the first down. Knocking on the door, and Walker Carswell punches his way through, and the Cyclones get on the board first. Porter Goud will face off against Ben Lippen next Friday. Over amongst corners, St. John's Christian was looking to keep their undefeated streak going as they welcomed in Thomas Hayward. Ryan Booker decides to take it himself, and he finds his way up the sideline for a nice gain, but that'd be about it on that offensive drive. But here's a nice job by the special teams as the Cavaliers get downfield and make sure the returner goes absolutely nowhere. Now the defense needs to step up as the Rebels try the run, and he makes one man miss, but he's not going to do it again as Booker did. A few of the Cavaliers are there to stop him. Now the Cavaliers look to get the ball back to their offense, but the Rebels find the end zone with a quick pass across the middle. He's off to the races all the way into the end zone. St. John's Christian will face off against Dorchester Academy next Friday. Let's head out over into Hilton Head as James Island looks to bring home a big-time win on the road. This was a great game from the start, scoreless till the second quarter as Hilton Head gets on the board first with a big run, and the Seahawks take the 7-0 lead. Fast forward to 2 minutes left in the half as Hilton Head holds a 14-0 lead, and the freshman Amontri Scotts takes the handoff and fights his way into the end zone for the touchdown, and the Trojans head into the half only down by 7. Coming out of the half, James Island is down 16-7, but unfortunately, that lead would grow. So they fake the handoff, and he finds this man open in the end zone, and Hilton Head adds to their lead. James Island will have to face off against Colleton County next Friday. All right, once again, we have to head to break, but when we come back, we'll take a look at all those scores across the Lowcountry. So stick around because Blitz on 2. We'll be right back.